Hello friends, it's Julie, and today is our I think it's the fourth video on or section of making a junk journal, easy, simple one out of a book and a magazine. And if you're not familiar, if you're just jumping in, we've used Daphne's Diary magazine and an old book, and we have made the cover in the first one. We made our signatures in the second one. We glued the signatures into it with a hidden binding on the third one, and today I think this is the last, don't quote me on it, we'll see at the end, but we're going to do our finishing embellishments in the journal, and we're doing this all in 24 hours. Now the first thing I do is I look at the pages and I think, well, these are a little taller than I would like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a little trim of the top of these pages, because I know you can have things that stick out over the edge, that's fine, but that's just not something that I want this time. I actually am making this for myself, and a lot of times I carry my journal with me to journal when I'm going to, I have a writing group I go to, and I bring my journal there. I also might bring it along because sometimes I stick my calendar in there, and I just want things to not be fussy when I'm going out. So I'm just going to do a little trim off the top, and that should be good, so it's not sticking out, nothing's sticking out the sides or the bottoms, so that is okay. So the first thing I do when I go, I'm just going to mention what time it is. It is right now 2:40, so we have 2 hours left of the 24-hour period that I started. So yeah, so this is probably going to be the last pass. Now to start with, I have some of this, what do you call it, ruffles, paper ruffles that I made just out of glue, and this one with lace. I haven't had a bunch of lace and stuff. So this is an autumn winter book, so probably not going to do a lot of pastels, but more of the deeper colors. We have 4 signatures in here, and I start with the first half of the first signature, and I do something with that one. So I'm going to just do some additions. Where do I like that? I don't know. Do I like this? I kind of like that. I like how this is a little more rustic than lace. So I'm going to do this one for the first. And of course I need some scissors and some glue. Figure out how long, right about here is the ruffle. I can always trim it like that. I'm going to do it like that, or it can bend out a little bit like that. I like it that way better. And I have the glue here that I'm using is this Beacon 301. It is about the same thing to me as the fabric tack. I think just different stores carry the different names. To me it seems like the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to do some glue down this side here. I'm going to just half of this on, just like that. Just that easy. Now, if you don't have any paper ruffles or anything like that, you can just do lace. You don't even have to put edges on your paper. You don't have to do that. I just like to have a little something, so I think this needs to go in a little. This is a nice thing about having wet glue, is you can reposition like that. So I just wanted to close it and have a little sticking out, but like I said, I like to bring this places, so I don't want to have a lot of stuff to worry about getting hurt. That's also why I didn't put a closure ribbon on it. So there we go. So that's the first half of my first signature. Now the second half of this signature, I'm going to see if I want to put anything else here, to see if anything cries out for something. This may be, sometimes it just seems like something says, add something to me. So if I'm going to do anything, I think it would be this one right here. And I'm going to just put some lace on this one. Now you might ask, where did you get all your laces and stuff? Estate sales. So there was an estate sale I went to where they were selling plastic drawers, cabinet sets with laces and everything in them. So I purchased a couple of those. They were like, they weren't cheap, but they weren't like store-bought expenses, so this will be fine. So that's where I got a lot of my laces from, was from estate sales. And you can also harvest some of the things from your clothes. If you go to a clothing shop like a Goodwill or something, or a thrift store, you can find some clothes that has lace on it, or some kind of designs on it, trims that you might want to harvest those, take those off. So there's all kinds of ways of making it. You may not have the exact same ones that I have. Probably, won't, because there's so many different ones out there in the world. And the only thing with this is I have to make sure that this doesn't stick to the other side. Okay, so now this next signature, I think, does it want something here? Maybe. I have some colored stuff here too. Even though, the reason why I would like something here is because then it covers up this. But it's just a preference. You don't have to do any of this. I think that's too frilly. The black is kind of interesting. Actually, I kind of like the bold. Or I could once again just do more of this stuff. And maybe I'll just do that on the first part, just to keep it simple. Now, you can make paper ruffles with your sewing machine as well. I just have not gotten my sewing machine out for a long time, and some people don't have sewing machines to sew with. So I just made mine all with just paper and glue, and then I put some of the lace over it. And you don't have to put lace over it. On this one, I just put different papers that I had, and I could use it either side. Okay, just wanted to close this and see what that would look like. And that's sticking out a little far. I don't think I want it that far out, so I'm gonna move it in. Okay, it's better. Okay, now we go to the second half of the signature, and see if there's anything. I do want to put a ruffle somewhere on here. Maybe this again, just the plain white, or that. Yeah, let's do this one. And this time we'll go with the lace. We'll just do this. Simple. I'm just not overthinking it here. And the thing is you can always, if you don't like it later on, it's easy to take it off. You can cut off the edge of your paper, put something else on there if you'd like. So you're not stuck with a decision. The reason why I do this with each half of my signature is because then it seems more even. Because there was a time where I would start with the beginning of my book, and then as I went, I would lose a little steam, and it was like the first half of my journal was more embellished than the rest. So I've learned to just do this a little bit at a time throughout, just try to even out how much I'm doing. Now this one, I'm gonna again put, I don't know if I need the lace ruffle on here, because it's not sticking out as much. So I'm going to do it on this page, because this is the shorter, no, am I? Oh, that's pretty. Or maybe this one? This one. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do one of these on each signature. Another thing you can do on the edges is you can do clusters. If you make clusters, those are always kind of fun. I do have some clusters, but I don't really like the ones I have left that much. I've actually just given away some of them. Okay, now we're going to go to the second half of the signature and put a piece of lace on it. So where's the second? That's where it starts. So what's the candidate? This is a candidate. It's kind of plain. That would be interesting to put something behind here. So either one. If I put something behind here, I don't want it to be too frilly. You know what I'm saying? But I do have this wonderful tatted stuff. My friend, my friend gave this to me, but I think that would bleed over too far. But isn't that would be really nice, wouldn't it? But I do have this as well. So this is nice too. And let's see. If I put this on the edge, is that going to be too much? I don't really like that as much. I don't see anything that I really want to put on the edge there. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. Maybe we'll do something with that later. So we're going to go back to this page and do something here. All right, you know, I'm just going to not overthink it and just do this again, the eyelet trim. We're just keeping it simple and fast. Sometimes we get caught up in having to do, okay, not we, I get caught up in doing things perfect. Want to have the perfect item, and then I will never get done because I might not have the perfect thing. So sometimes done is better than perfect. There we go. And I'll just trim off the top. These little bits on the top, they can be added to clusters and stuff. It might be little fun things. Okay. Now we're going to the last signature. And where do I, oh, this is the last signature. Where do I want to put that? Feels like it needs something here, right here. So that is where we're going to put it. I actually forgot I had these. They were kind of put away in a corner. So I'm glad that I remembered and I brought them out so I can use them. So it just doesn't make any sense to have something and not use them, right? Even though sometimes it feels like you're using something that you love and then you don't have it anymore. That's just the way it goes. There'll be more. You can make more. There's always more scraps. Okay, there, that looks, I like that. And then the second half of the signature, we're going to put some of this lace on it. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Maybe that. I like this one because it's short. We'll extend the length of it a little bit. Now, I know I've said that this method of making a journal is good for beginners, and a lot of you may not have accumulated all of these items, which is fine. Another thing you can do is you can just find some interesting trims on paper or interesting patterns, and you can edge them, or you don't have to put any edges at all on your papers. This is just all optional. I just like to have a little bit on the ends. And I'm using the wrong scissors. Obviously, this is not my fabric scissors. But I can always even it out later, right? Okay. So now what I go do is I go back here and make sure this isn't sticking to anything that it shouldn't be. Because this one was the part where, yep, so that one wants to stick a little bit. That is okay. Where was this one? Here. This is fine. It's fine. I think that when you have holy lace, that's when things tend to stick more. This is pretty easier. This is easier stuff to keep from sticking to other things. So like if I was going to glue this to something, the glue might seep through the layers and want to stick to the next page. It's touchy. Alright, so that is that. So we're done with the laces. Okay, so now after we're done with that, I like to make some pockets on the inside of the covers. I do like pockets. There's a couple ways we can make pockets. You can take an envelope and make a pocket. It's really easy. You can cut some paper, put it over. That's easy too. There's so many ways. Here's the pages from the Daphne's Diary that I have left. And what you do want to have is something sturdy, or else back it with something else. We do have these little cutouts. They're quite precious. That could make some pockets, but I don't think they quite match that, her aesthetic. So I think what I will do is use an envelope. I have a box of envelopes. Now, here again, this is estate sale stuff. There are usually at the estate sale companies that I go to, they have a lot of things that in their office they'll box up a whole bunch of cars or something, a whole bunch of stationery. Well, you know, and then they will sell it for like $5 a box. Most of the time people don't really want it, so it ends up being going on half price, which is kind of fun. There's that one. That's too tall. I don't want something too tall. So she's really covered up with this one. I'm not sure if I like that. See if we can find a shorter envelope. Okay, otherwise there's these, and they can easily be embellished. So those are what I think will work. So, audition time. Do I like you? Do I like you? No, I don't. I do not. Do I like you? I do. I do like that one. I like it because you can see her face more. Now, I can glue the envelope like this and have it so you have just glue here, so there's a pocket, and then you have the pocket in the envelope. I think that's what I'm going to do. But before I'm going to do that, I want to cover it up with something pretty. And I have some of this from the magazine. Something like that would be good. Like this, these florally things. I'm going to put that in here. I think I'm just going to go with my first choice and cover it with this. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to take my cutter. You don't need a cutter. You could easily use your scissors or tear it. Either any way you want to do it is fine. And I'm going to make it so it's just a little bit smaller than the envelope. There. Okay. So I'm going to put that on here. Make that a little prettier. And then here we'll have to find something. Actually, maybe I'm already thinking I shouldn't have put the lace away yet. Okay, so I'm going to use this if I haven't clogged up the nozzle on it too much. I'm just going to glue, how tall? Around here. And then along here. Oops. And that should be good. Put that there. Put it a little high. So I'm going to wipe that off. Oh, it's crooked. This is why, once again, like I said, wet glue is best. For me, at least. This is really already stuck. Okay, here we go. Let's try to make sure it's straight this time, Julie. Let's do that. Okay, there we go. And another thing, you just want to make sure you didn't glue your envelope closed. Next thing is that I'm going to cover up the envelope flap because adhesion there, you don't want that to get your, what am I trying to say? Hello, words are hard. You don't want that to close on you when you don't want it to, you know? I am just going to glue that down and then cut after. This is a little too much there. Okay. Glue it to the edge there. Different scissors. I like to use the bigger one for long straight cuts because you don't have to do as many cuts. This one is better for doing fussy cuts, shorter with the pointy ends. There. And then I'm going to put something on the outside here. I have this lace too. This is the thicker stuff. Thinking maybe something like that would be fun. Oops. Yeah, I like that. Or this one. Ooh, that is pretty fancy. But I like, it's almost too big though. yeah, that's too big. I don't know if I like that as much. If I cut off this section, like that. Okay. There, I like that. We're going to go with the fancy. Okay. I'm going to go up over it. Well, no, I'm not going to. And I'll tell you why here in just a second. That's quite fancy. Okay, the reason why I didn't go up above the envelope is because when you open it, it makes it hard to open. So if you keep everything underneath, I discovered this the hard way. You know what else this needs is inking. Let's see here. Which one? This one, not so dark. It's just, I don't like the white on the edge so much. Okay, the reason why I have these in separate bags is because I taught a class and I brought my inks with, and I didn't want the wrong sponge to go with the wrong color. So that's why I labeled everything, and it's actually not a bad thing to do with your personal collection, to label your inks. Now, if you don't have inks, you can easily use something like shoe polish. You got some leftover shoe polish. You could use some makeup, because sometimes you buy those compacts of makeup and you don't use all your makeup. You can use that. I'm just going to do a little bit of color in there. Like that. Too white for me. Just a little grunge. That is better. Now, we shall attach our envelope. And I'm just going to glue this way. And I'm going to use this glue because it can get a thinner bead on it. Usually I have the silver nozzle on it, but my nozzle right now needs to be cleaned out. So I find if I go left to right, I can do a pretty straight line. If I try to go like this, it's not as straight. It's just the way I found works for me. Okay, now we're going to cover this up like that. And I'm going to actually push in a little bit on the edges, because if you do it totally flat, it's harder to put things in the envelope. Just my preference. It's pretty fancy. And now I feel like I have to do the same thing on the other side, so I'm going to do that. All right, I have the second envelope made. Oh, I need to ink it. Shoot. I was going to have everything ready to go, and I just was going to glue it in, but obviously that didn't work out. As you make your journals, you'll find out what techniques you like. Here, maybe you'll make more like this, and maybe you'll just say, no, I like a different technique, which are perfectly fine. But just trying different ways is just a really good way of learning. And I heard so many people say they love art glitter glue, and what I like about it is it does have good staying power, and it's easy to apply just a little bit. Like, you can get it much finer with the silver nozzle, but what I don't like is it does wrinkle your paper, and that's just something I was surprised about. I think some people mention it, but not everybody. And again, I'm going to slightly just push it in to give it a little, so there's a little give. Now we're just going to go through and see, what do we need? Is there anything needed in here? Okay. I think there were a couple envelopes that I wanted to address. This one did not have an envelope. Here is one of them. Now what I do with envelopes is if you try to put something in your envelope like this, it's kind of difficult to do it. So what I do is I cover this up and I slice either the top or the edge so you can use it as a pocket. Bye-bye glue. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to, oops, wrong scissors. I'm just going to trim off the very edge of the envelope. And then find something to cover up here. And I'm going to put that there. Seems kind of plain though. Oh well. Where's my glue? Oh, I also like this one. I'm going to do this side. I like that much better. And if you had something that was of a more of a cardstock, you could glue just the edges here and you could have a double pocket. Or do like this and have top pocket go off that way. Okay, I do like that better. Okay, and then there's another half of this envelope right here. And this is where I like to connect something to here. And this is where I think, because we're still using our magazine, I like to put maybe a couple of these girls. Maybe like that. Like that. I know I don't like to have things oriented this way so much, but I think we need to make an exception for these girls. So the three of them will work together. So these three together probably, or these three together. I think these three. Put them there. And I've done different things. I've put tags on here. You can put attach a little journal on here. All kinds of things. Oh, look at that. Now we have that side to do something with. You know what we could do? Make a pocket. Punch this out. And I will just glue that way. Do I want them facing that way? Or like that? Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. It's going to be an odd pocket, but that's kind of fun to have that surprise. Make sure this is securely there. So then you can have something, a pocket, and have it, too much glue here. And it will peek through there. I like that. Very fun. You can see here it's a pocket more than you can see on the other side. Okay, that's kind of neat. Then you don't know what you're going to do. Something happens, and voila. Okay, where's that other envelope? I don't remember where I put it. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to treat this the same way. And that would be nice. Do that. Okay. There we go. And then something can go on there, but I'm not going to put something there right now because we have 1 hour left, and when I'm journaling I might find something else to put on there. Plus there's this nice design from the when I coffee dyed or tea dyed it, whatever I did then. Okay, so the other half of the envelope is where? Where's the lip? Right here. And maybe we can do the same thing as we did on the other one. Make a cute little pocket. 24-hour period. I did not do something every hour of the 24-hour period. I also was living life, doing other stuff during the same time. You can possibly do it quicker if you just work constantly at it. And did you see where my scissors went? Okay, thanks. There it is. So we're going to cut this like that. If you don't know much about fussy cutting, it's better to keep the scissors stable and move the paper. Seems like you get a better line that way. But sometimes you just have to move the scissors. Okay, we're going to put the girls there. Why reinvent the wheel when the first thing turned out kind of cute, right? There. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is look through the rest of this paper and see if there's anything I really want to include in the book. This could be fun. Make sure, look on the other side before I rip it. Okay, these recipes are kind of cool, but I don't know. This is more of a summer. These are more winter or spring, so I'm not going to use those. We have this where I could have to-dos, decorations. Maybe that would be for... I like this paintbrush and the stamp. Ooh. Have this little tag. I like this, but I don't think it's going to go well with this journal. I like her, not so much the balloons, but let's see, this is beautiful flowers. Some more flowers. I'm not going to rip them out because there's too many of them. Now we're going to do what I did before is I'm going to work in the first half of the first signature and put something on it. One of these items. I'm going to find out where it kind of needs something. Here, maybe. Maybe here. There. I like her. I'm just going to do a quick fussy cut around her. Where, I don't know what this is called, but it's when you don't go all the way. You just kind of do an outline cut. I like the idea of her peeking out from behind there. There we go. And then the second half of the signature, what might need some embellishment. We could do something on here too, because we've got this. Oh, we have this. It's for France, so that's the US. We could do a to-do list there. I like that idea. I feel like it needs something else though behind it. This tag, maybe. So what if we did something a little bit more. It's too white. How about the bottom of this? Is that too, that's not enough contrast? Maybe we just do the stamp. And we need more color. Maybe that. Yeah. Okay, good enough. Remember, we're not working for perfection, and we can always change things. I see making a journal as not an end in itself, but a beginning. So a lot of these things are just to inspire for later. Because it will, as I work in my journals, I change things a lot. But some people like to make their journals all perfect and ready and embellished, which is totally their prerogative, but it's just for me, the journal is kind of a start. And I want to cover those balloons up. Okay, that works well. A little collage. I usually like to do collages with different kinds of papers, and maybe it would be nice to have some old book pages or something, but I'm trying to use just mostly the magazine. Okay, now we have this signature. What might need help? I actually don't like this edge so much. Maybe what I'll just do, like that. Taken care of. So let's just focus on something here. And what do we have? We have this stamp. We have this. This is what war means. I don't know if I really want war something. I'm going to cover it up with this or something. Or this might be a good spot to put a recipe. Let's do that. Yeah, this looks very fall. I know this is turning out to be more fall than winter, which is fine. And then the next half of the signature, do something there, like that. Okay. Need a little bit more glue. Okay, I like that. And the back side is kind of messy. So I'm probably going to cover that up with lace on the other side. Now, what over here needs attention? There. All right, what do we have left? Still have this. I could put it. It's all different now. Speaks to the art. It's all different now. We have that. I don't really like the guy there. That will cover the hand up. I'd like to get into painting again. I used to be an art major in college, my first major, and then I've realized I would rather appreciate art than do art. It's just not, unless I was going to be a teacher, I don't think I would have been able to make a career out of it. So I ended up going as a different major. But I haven't done much the last few years, probably since I moved out to Montana. Boy, 9 years since I've really picked up a paintbrush. So I've been thinking about doing that again. So do you do art, different painting and stuff? And what do you do? Do you do acrylics, oils, pastels? I think I like it better at the bottom by itself. I think, yeah, let's do it angled. Watercolors. There's so many different ways to go. There we go. That this is going to inspire me to remember to do that. Okay, now the next half of the signature. So it is 7 minutes to 3. Here I'm hurrying. We actually have an hour and 15 minutes. Here I'm thinking, oh no, I only have, no, hour 15 minutes, an hour and 35 minutes. I was thinking we only had 35 minutes. Oh, phew. Okay, we might be able to do everything I want to then. Beautiful bird to go here or something. What happened to that tag I cut out? Did you see where that went? Oh, here's that edge that I liked. Here it is. Oh, this needs to be on something darker. Or, hello, do that. Then it makes a writing space. I like that. Yeah. So we do that a little off center. And then put this little tag on there. And there's even room to write on there as well. Where'd my towel go? Napkin, whatever. Nice. Okay, last signature. And we are going to look and see what needs attention here. First half. And we've got, we have the travel theme here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll come down here with a little cascade of travel. That's what we'll do. Okay. I'm going to put this all the way up to the top edge of the paper. Slide it right there, like that. And then we have the little travel thing. And there's even still room to journal. We also have Italy, which would be over here, but hey, we're suspending belief a little bit. So where do you like to travel? I love to travel, but I don't, well, we travel a lot within, you know, just on day trips or such, but not a lot internationally. We haven't really, last time I went international, where was it? Where did it go? Canada. But in about a year and a half, I'm going to be going to England again. Okay, but I like that. Even though, you know, Italy's over here. You get the idea. And then the last half of this signature, what can we do? Here's that envelope. Oh, you know what we should do? We either need to trim the edge or the top. or both. I'm actually going to do the top because it just seems like then you can stick something long in there. This last signature is more, have an international flair because we've got Stratford on Avon. And then I'm going to make a little curve. Like that. So then you can have a little opening like that. Okay. So is there anything else I should do over here? What do I have left? I still didn't use that stamp, which is okay. I don't feel like there's anything I really feel like I need to do. But here again, I'm at the end, and I'm not embellishing it as much as the beginning. I told you that would happen. Well, I don't really feel like there's anything else I need to add to the journal that way. And so what I'm going to do now is I mentioned I wanted to edge some pages with lace. And I'm going to be using this glue again. And just like before, I'm going to do 1/2 of my signature, find something to edge, like this right here, and then do the another one. That's good enough. I have tons of this stuff. It's 3 o'clock, so I have an hour and a half left of the time that I started. So I would think that we did pretty well with our time. Just think, a day ago we didn't have anything. So it's just amazing what you can do. And once again, the things that help out are being a little organized, not being tied up with perfectionism, using what you have, not what you think would be the ultimate thing. Next signature, half signature. See if I have any more of those obvious spots. Like right here. I'm just going to do the same thing. Sometimes, okay, a lot of times like here, if I wanted to really be fussy, I would maybe do a different lace on each one, but I have a lot of this lace and it looks nice, so why not use it? Right there. And it helps to cover up that spot where it doesn't print because I don't have an edge-to-edge printer. So there's always ways around the things that you don't have. I would love to have an edge-to-edge printer, but it's not what I'm going to have right now. So here's the next. I did tear that off. Now I'm kind of regretting that. But there's also this. So we shall do that. And this isn't like a journal that is going to win awards. It is a simple and easy way to start to make one for an everyday usage, or as you go, when you journal, you can really bring out some features. There's plenty of canvas here for embellishing and such. Okay, here. And making things a little fancier. There's lots of ways you could do that. This is just a nice starting point for your journaling. So that covers that up nicely. Okay, now I said here I was going to cover this up. So I need something a little thicker. I was thinking something like that. That's going to cover it. And there is a right and a wrong side of lace as well. So you just want to be careful. Okay. This is the time where it's probably going to want to stick to the next page. Let's see. Cut off a little too long, but I'll just come and trim that later. Okay, so that covered that spot up like that. Okay, next half of the signature. Right there. I'm part of some Facebook groups for junk journaling. There's so many people that find out about junk journaling and they get really excited and say, what do I need to buy? How do I make my first one? I've been watching videos. I've been, watching whatever the people have been posting on the page, the group. And then they're like, but I don't know what to do now. So this is a really easy way to start. And like I said, it doesn't have to take very long. And it didn't. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then it gets you in. And I think breaking the ice on your first journal is difficult because you do get into that mode of, oh, everybody's just so pretty. What if I mess up? And the thing is, you can start with a very low investment. You start with stuff that's in your house. And maybe if you start telling your friends, hey, I'm going to start, I would like to make a junk journal. Do you have any extra, paper supplies? Papers, pages, scrapbook things, stickers, washi tape, all that stuff. You can ask them, hey, do you have anything that you no longer use? If you are a crafty person, you probably have crafty friends. Or, oh, here, that's where it is. Or you do, I didn't find anything in this half to embellish. It's okay. Or you look on Craigslist or something, or your local Facebook groups, and you can even ask them, say, I just want to try making one. Anybody out there want to help me? Can you help me start? Even if you just say, if you even find something for like $5 or something, you can easily start that way too. Okay, so the last signature, I didn't find a specific spot, so I'm going to just make my own spots to put some lace edge on. And once you start with your first journal and you've done it, then you can say, hey, that was cool, I made one. And then you can say, well, next time I would like to do this. Or next time I want to try that. Or I really like doing it this way. I'm going to do that one again because I'm comfortable with it. I know how to do it. And you can do that too. It's just really that simple. And the thing about if you have a low investment in your materials, then you don't have to worry about, I've spent all this money on this materials and now what if I mess up? I have ruined all of this stuff. So that is one of the nice ways of using scraps and stuff, is that you just don't have to be perfectionistic about it. There we go. So every half of the signature has one of these. Okay, don't look at our book. It is filling up. Okay, what time is it really? Am I looking at my clock wrong? No, it is 3:15. We have an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, but I think we might be done. So let's do one final look through. We've got our cover. And then just do first flip. I love how this turned out. I think this is a hint to come, where I'm going to have this more of a theme throughout the book as I work through it. And if there's anything glaringly obvious, oh, this is sparkly. Where did that come from? That needs help. This definitely needs something else, but right now, it's just going to be fine. I really like this wording here. I was fortunate enough to find a notebook that somebody had written a whole bunch of quotes down, handwritten. To-do page. And I have been, excuse me, using a little bit here and there. I am liking this. This is pretty good for doing something that took less than a day. This, I'm not so sure about. I will probably do something with that. Maybe I should do that now since we're going through it now. Let's use a different lace and edge that. I really want to use this stuff. Maybe that's the answer. This is so pretty. And if I put it It's surprising what you can find out in the wild. I really, like I said, I really prefer the old stuff best. Just my style, it's my vibe, and I like recycling things and giving them new life. I'm going to put that across that line. There we go. And that has just elevated that page, hasn't it? Until from a, it's a torn edge to, ooh, look at that. Okay. And it would be easy to find maybe even an edge of a shawl like that to just take the edging off of it, or a scarf. So you don't need to buy the fancy laces either. You can just go to your closet. I don't like that. I feel like that needs something. Yeah, I know. I'm just going to leave it for now. This is just, somebody did this by hand. Just admire it and enjoy it, cherish it. I don't even know where I got that from. It was probably in something from an estate sale. A little handmade. This is so cute. It's going to be so cute, this pocket. I'm going to put something in there. I don't know what. It makes me really excited to start this new journal. This is just a paper bag made into paper. See, I don't always do a lot of these collagey things to start with, because who knows what will come along. What if I am journaling here about Christmas or something? Oh, I guess it's not, but you know, something totally opposite to this. But it just seemed to fit. And also going through here allows you to loosen any glue that is trying to set, because that happens too. You don't want it to sit there too long and get too solidly cemented together. Like that, lace. There we go. Ooh, almost done. Oh, isn't that colorful? See, I like when it does this. You have you can see 4 layers there. And a second pocket, fun little pocket there. I don't know what we'll put in there. Oh, see, this wants to glue together. And we are done. And here's our back pocket. Okay, and our back cover. Now my lace is now sticking out. That's fun. Now, when I look at this cover, I actually don't like it as well as when I started. I would love to have another one of these images here on the cover, but I don't have another one. But it makes me want to buy another issue and put something like that on there. Maybe I'll find something else, because this is as nice as this is. This to me feels very young. It's more cutesy, it's very sweet. I like a little bit more like this, upscale, sophistication or something. This is more of my style. But until I find something better, it stays. So there we go. And that is a wrap. We did it in 23 hours. There we go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspires you. Let me know if it does, or if there's something you think I should have done differently. And I'll see you on the next page. Goodbye.